Well, a warm view on a cold day. A live look at Pembroke, Bermuda. John Lennon, by the way, he was a big fan of Bermuda. He wrote some 20 songs there, including Woman and Just Like Starting Over. He did it in Bermuda. He used to sail on his own boat. There's a boat. I'm making it sound like he had a canoe or a little rowboat. I'm sure he had a very fancy schmancy, maybe not a yacht, because I don't think he was like Bezos in any means. He seemed pretty grounded, but he had definitely a decent vessel. But I thought that was interesting. You know, there's always these little stories, these little gems, and we try to uncover that no matter what we do here on the program. If you're new to the program, let me know in the comments. Put a little asterisk and say new. We want to welcome you officially. We've been doing this. This is episode 44, if you can believe it. And the show is called Here and There. I'm your host, Anwar Knight. Pleasure to have your company today. And normally, we like to go out and explore, people, places, and community. With the numbers going back up, we've decided to play it safe. We'll do that for a few more weeks, and then we'll get outside, and we're looking forward to that. But, there's so many things that we can do. There are some advantages for being in a studio environment as well, in terms of the number of features that we can do, and I think so far we're doing pretty good. Nancy says virtual travel sounds like a plan. So let's say hello to a few of you right now. Zainer is saying, what's up, everyone? Lonnie is joining us. Wendy's saying hello. Inez is joining us. Gail from Port Hope, Ontario is joining us. Wendy says, I see we're at episode 44. Indeed, we are, if you can imagine. Ron Carter is saying, where's the heat? It's coming, I promise, and I'll let you know what's coming up in the forecast and the show in just a moment. Janet is saying, looking forward to seeing the longest lightning strike. Oh, look, somebody knows what's coming up in the show. This is great. Bonita's joining us from Grimsby. Also, Kathy's saying hello from Burlington. We also have Alan saying good afternoon. Donna's giving us a wave. Nancy from Stouffville. Norita is joining us. Great to have your company, Norita. Thank you for that. And as we continue on what's going on in the show today, I wanted to show you a number of things. We're going to play another round of The Price is What, so that's on the agenda. We'll have the full forecast, and I have to tell you, this was a crucial week, not only because we had more snow, and not that it was Groundhog's Day, but we have officially passed the threshold of the halfway point of winter. Yay! Yes. So there are, more days of winter behind us than in front of us at this point. Officially, I think it was 10:46 last night when we reached that apex, if you will. We're also going to open up the Not to Nature file, as some of you alluded to. We're going to look at the longest lightning strike in the world, and this will blow your mind. I was just floored when I saw this, so we're going to show you some of the illustrations with that. We'll have a new AKQ and lots more, but we want to start off on what day is it? Today is the 4th of February, but there's a lot of different things going on, and I wanted to highlight a few of them. Some are serious and some are fun, but one of the big things today, it's World Cancer Day. Cancer, and ultimately it's to help save lives, and the key is detecting early, right? If you detect it early, the better it is in terms of your prognosis. So go with your gut, get things checked out. I'm living proof of that. It's been 12 years now for me. So World Cancer Day. It's also Rosa Parks Day, celebrating the legacy of Rosa Parks, a woman who became the symbol of equality, civil rights, and the American civil rights movement. For some of our American friends who are watching, there are 2 days. Some states honor today, which was the day she was born. Also, others celebrate December the 1st, and that's when she was arrested for rejecting a bus driver's order and to give up her seat on the bus. She was sitting in the quote-unquote colored section, and the bus driver said, make some room, because the white-only passenger section was full, and she refused. So what a legacy, remarkable woman. It's also Liberace Day. Liberace Day, he was considered one of the greatest entertainers in the world. It was on this day that he died. He had the first syndicated TV show back in 1952, and he had 30 million viewers at one time. 30 million viewers! That is phenomenal. And he received 10,000 fan letters a week. Liberace Day. And today is also officially Bubblegum Day. Bubblegum. Now, don't confuse it with chewing gum. Bubblegum and chewing gum are two different things. The way it's made, what you can do with it. Bubblegum is the stuff that's made to blow bubbles. And it's actually designed for making bubbles. I've got actually a little bit of bubblegum here. I have, first of all, my little gum dispenser. And then I have a whole bunch of you know, I haven't eaten gum like this since I was a kid. But we've done it, you know, for the show. I wanted to bring some here. And I'll tell you, first of all, it's hard as rock, so I'm warming up in my hands. But the thing about bubble gum and why there's a difference is that the way it's made, it's designed so you can blow a bubble. And the biggest problem, you know, for years was it would stick to your face. Until about the mid-70s, and then what they did, they started to make synthetic gum. And that was sort of the secret. So you remember this stuff? Who's eaten bubble gum in the last little while? I don't know, not me, eh? Oh, it's hard. So, and you'll have to forgive me for chewing and eating like a cow in front of you, but my goal is to do a virtual bubble on the show. But do you remember Hubba Bubba? You know, Hubba Bubba and Bubble Yum were the first two major brands that went with this new synthetic gum. And, oh yeah, Christopher says the fillings of my teeth are nervous. Me too. That's the last thing I need. Hey, Rena's joining us. Hi, Rena. Great to have you. Joyce's Double Bubble. Yeah, that's what I'm chewing right now. You know, you can burn 11 calories an hour by chewing gum or bubble gum. But I'm going to try to do it now, eh? Okay. So indulge me while I chew like a cow in front of you. Okay, here we go. What was that gum, by the way, that had the fluid in it? Do you remember that? I wanted to say Bubblicious, but it wasn't. These Bubblicious were also square pink. But there was this stuff that had this liquid in it. You would chew it and it would burst. Maybe it was called Burst. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. A lot of people saying they love Hubba Bubba. And Bazooka. Oh, Wendy said Bazooka. I remember that. I remember riding to the variety store and getting it as a kid. Okay. So I need you to give me an imaginary drum roll. Oh, yay, the crowd makes some noise. Oh, man. Oh, Margaret said I could have somebody pre-chew it for me. No, thank you. Oh, yeah. Rita says I need to keep chewing. I think you're right, but it's only a half-hour show, so here we go. I'm going to do it again. Here we go. Squirt, was that the name of the gum? It was called Squirt? Because it would squirt out? You might be right. Good for you. Okay, here we go. Okay, I want to try one more. One more, I promise we'll get rid of it. Here we go. We're celebrating Bubblegum Day, by the way. Here we go. The biggest bubble was 23 inches. Did I do one more? You let me know. Should I try one more time? Yes or no? One more time? Okay, you let me know. Okay, here we go. Okay, there you go. There you go. Do I have it all off? Tell me, hold on. I think it's on my upper lip. Is it all gone? Yes? Okay, good. Now, there was a really crazy story about the lady who did the world's largest bubble. Her name was Susan Montgomery Williams. She did this in 1994, so she did it that was 23 inches wide. But what's so nuts, she loved chewing bubble gum and popping it. And she went to the Fresno Fair in California. She was at a Smokey Robinson concert. And she was blowing her gum and popping it, you know, making noises. It came to a point that some of the people watching the concert said, you got to stop that. And she wouldn't do it. So they arrested her. They arrested Susan Montgomery Williams. And this is before she broke the record, because she wouldn't stop popping her gum during this concert. It gets even better than this. She goes to court, and she's waiting in the hallway because she's going to go in the courtroom, you know, to see if she's going to go to jail, pay a fine, whatever it is. She's chewing gum again. She's popping her bubbles. So obviously she's going through this phase like, you know what, I'm the bubble queen here. In fact, her nickname was Choosy Susie. Huh. This is a true story. So apparently there was a jury in one of the other rooms. They're trying to deliberate a murder case, and they keep hearing this, I'm like, what's going on? So they called the bailiff. They charge her again. She's in the courthouse for a previous charge, and they charge her again. End of the day, I think it was a $150 fine. But like, you know, she really said, hey, I'm the queen, I'm going to do what I got to do. But I was just floored by that. Isn't that something? Choosy Susie. Okay, this is the last bubble. Oh, there we go. All right, we hang with a pop. Now, the question is, what do I do with it? I got an idea. We can take this, excuse me, and bring it to Bubblegum Alley. Have you ever heard of Bubblegum Alley? Oh my goodness. It's this town northwest of Los Angeles. World famous. People come to stick their gum on this alley wall. Let me show you the video. I'll take you on a little tour here. Show you the video, and look at this. Look at this. There are millions of pieces of gum, and this has been going on for 20 years, and you can see there's a restaurant right by it. There's a whole establishment there. In fact, that restaurant offers free gum. But at one point, the nearby stores asked the city to clean it, and they did, but eventually they realized that this has become a tourist attraction. It's bringing a lot of people into this town. So they just left it, and they said, go ahead with it now. And some people describe, as you walk down this alley, it smells like minty bacteria. Oh, I want to breathe in the minty bacteria. Is that not kind of gross? I don't know. And in the day of COVID, I'm not going there unless I have a hazmat suit. At this point, I'm telling you. But Bubblegum Alley. Is that not something? My goodness. Cheryl said that is so strange and cool. Yes, I get the cool factor in the fact that everybody wants to do this thing. Like, you know, when you put those locks, the love locks. What's it, in France or is it in Italy? I think it's in Italy because I've seen it. No, is that the Rialto Bridge? Anyway, you let me know that. But yeah, Margaret says, I bet you it's closed for COVID. I don't know. It's in America, people. I don't know. And no offense, I know I've got American friends, but there seems to be a little more liberty going on during COVID. Were they adding to this alley during COVID, Giselle wants to know. Honestly, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. But, you know, there it is. Yeah, Nancy, we have a few little hiccups there. I'm not sure what that is. If there's any issue, just hit reload, okay, on the show, and it'll bounce back. But Kathy says, very gross, especially with COVID. It is in Paris. Okay, there you go, the Lock Bridge. Thank you. Christine says, Bubblegum Alley, Belch. And Lonnie added, it's in Paris. Seems a bit gross, laughing out loud. And in Paris, they removed the locks. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, Gloria, I'm sorry. She says it's gross. She's having lunch. Sorry about that, because I get how it can throw you off in that. And Margaret says in the U.S., everything goes. It seems that way. My goodness. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting. And by the way, it is a myth that bubblegum will sit in your stomach for 7 years. That has been proven scientifically wrong. Your body does not break it down per se, but it finds its way out, if you know what I mean. But it is officially Bubblegum Day. And, you know, there's always these little stories, these little things that all connect us in terms of pop culture. And I think we all can relate to some point when it comes to bubblegum, you know, novelties like that I mentioned earlier about riding your bike, going to the variety store. And we would, oh my goodness, it was probably 3 or 4 kilometers just to go get, you know, our chips and our gum and even Popeye cigarettes back then and that sort of thing. But anyway. Giselle says kids used to place chewing gum and bubble gum under their desks. You know, that was a big thing in school. You're absolutely right. And there are some places in the world, Singapore, I mean, you can go to jail, you know, like that's for sure. And I don't know, did I ever tell you that in Disney World, you'll never find gum being available at any of their stores, whether it's Disneyland or Disney World, because of the mess it leaves, you know, in the Magic Kingdom, right? In this wonderful, magical place. They don't want little dried up gum blotches all over. So they don't sell gum. And extending from that, they have determined, in terms of the pacing for a garbage receptacle when it comes to the average person, and I think it was 21 paces. I'll have to circle back on it, but it was something like that. They've determined somebody will walk 21 steps before they give up looking for a garbage receptacle. So they determined there will be a garbage receptacle within that wherever you go on any Disney property to avoid litter. Pretty smart, eh? Pretty smart stuff. So anyway, Nancy says, love double bubble gum at the X when I was a kid. Peter says, I remember the teacher making you stick it on your nose if you're caught chewing in class. Yeah, no kidding. Rose is waiting for Valentine's Day. What, you're going to get gum for Valentine's Day? Rena says we used to take our pennies to Black Cat's convenience store to get our paper bag full of candy like licorice, shoelaces, jawbreakers, powdered sugar, candy dots. Oh, this is a trip down memory lane, isn't it? Wow. All right, let's get to our next story. This is kind of interesting. If you're not into bubble gum, how about a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? That's another staple. We were talking about school. Of course, nowadays you can't bring peanut butter because of allergies. But there's this restaurant in Chicago that's serving up the world's most expensive PB&J sandwich. It's known as the Golden Goose, and it costs $350. Let me show you a picture of it, and I'll break down the ingredients because it is the high-end tier. Of course, you'd expect that at $350. But it features bread that has gold baked into it. So there's gold dust, you know, the shavings. You could see a little bit there on the top. And of course, it's edible. It has the most expensive jam in the world. It's imported from France. And to make this jam, they use a technique from the 14th century. They use the quill of a goose feather to get the seeds out of the berry of red and white currants. I don't know why. Give me a break. But that's what they do. And it's drizzled with New Zealand's Manuka honey. And of course, that in itself is also high end. So the kicker on this, the peanut butter, although it's all natural, it's the cheapest ingredient there. And they freely admit it's something you get at a regular store, although it's organic, $5. But $350 for the Golden Goose. So this is out of a restaurant in Chicago. Now, before we get too judgmental, I certainly wouldn't spend it on that sandwich. However, you may think about it when most of the money goes to a kid's charity. So they just take whatever it is to cover the costs of making the sandwich, and then it goes supporting, I think it's called Kids Hope, if I remember correctly in the article. But, you know, I thought it's a neat little concept. Maybe it's something we need to do, you know, just to get a nice little distraction. We're going to go for a PB&J sandwich. But it leads me to the AKQ. What is your favorite sandwich? Think about that. And maybe it is the PB&J, you know, a classic peanut butter and jelly. I like them, but they're not in my top. I would say tuna, and I know some people are just like, tuna. I love a tuna sandwich. I love tuna sandwich. I love it on a whole wheat bread, a little bit of sprouts on top. So that's the question I'm asking you, is what is your favorite sandwich? You know, and I'm sure there's many different concepts, maybe something that's non-traditional, and I'd like to know from you. And, tuna melt, Nancy adds. And Giselle says, Montreal smoked meat on rye. Oh, when I used to eat meat, you're right. And, you know, they layer it on. They're not stingy, right? I mean, they gave you 2 inches of that. Wow. Wow, lots of people are answering. And Wendy says, grilled cheese with a side of tomato soup. Yep, standard combo, love that. Cindy agrees with the tuna on rye bread. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. Tuna with melted cheese. You know, anything with melted cheese, right? Like, who are we kidding? I mean, truthfully, you could put melted cheese on anything, and it's doodah. Barbara says grilled cheese. Judy says chicken salad. Yes. You know, it depends. I think you really have to know how to make that, and it sounds simple, but I've had some at a cafeteria, and you think, you know, maybe they're, you know, trying to use day-old chicken or something. I don't know, but it depends. Alan agrees with Giselle on the Montreal smoked, and Jeanette says cheese, onion, lettuce with mayo. I like that. Egg salad, yes, Diane. I'm into the egg. I'm in the egg camp as well. Pat O'Brien says chicken salad. Kathy says egg sandwich with lettuce. Onion and cheese. Yeah, you know, I love onions. I don't know if I would do that combo, though, but I appreciate the answer. Egg salad, Ermina says, and Aisha says, PB&J, one of my favorites, even yummier with bananas. Well, that was Elvis's, wasn't it? He put a lot of banana on it, and we've done that for the kids here at home, put some bananas on it, yeah. Also grilled cheese with bacon, Joyce says, and chunky white tuna, Ron says. Oh, Donna says, don't have a favorite sandwich. Well, we've just listed a whole buffet here, Donna. You need to pick one. You need to pick one and make it by this weekend. Rita says, grilled cheese with ooey gooey cheese, salmon on fresh sliced bread. I would go a step further. Smoked salmon on rye with capers and a little bit of onion. You know, the red onion ring. There, you've got it. Laura says, grilled cheese, the classic, absolutely. Classic club sandwich, Alan says. Jack says, eggs, same with Sarah. Christine says, I don't have one. There are many that are delicious. Eggs and mayo for Narita. And also, oh, Lonnie says, the clubhouse. Yeah, that's a long time standing one, isn't it? So that's the question. We'll continue to check in with you on what is your favorite sandwich. Rick, by the way, adds, Cheese Whiz sandwich every day for school. Now it is a Monte Cristo grilled ham and Swiss. Well, how we've grown, Rick. Now, Cheese Whiz, wasn't that the one that came in that little squeezable, you know, like a little football? I know they used to have the jars, but I remember as a kid, I'd be sucking on that. You just like squeeze it in your mouth. Ron says lox and cream cheese on a beautiful bagel. There is something about a fresh bagel. I agree. That's another good one. BLT, Susan says, another legendary, iconic sandwich. Oh, Cheryl says lobster sandwich. You know, we had lobster rolls and we went out to the East Coast. I guess it's probably 2 years now, maybe even going 3 years. And boy, was that tasty. Kathy says, my tuna sandwiches, I add mayo and some relish and toast it. Relish, you say? And my favorite is egg salad chopped, very fine, also chicken salad. You got me thinking there. Now, I know a little bit of cucumber, but you're putting relish. That's interesting. Zaner says, a Subway sandwich. Shirley says, have even seen some under the church pew. Yuck. Oh, you're talking about the gum? Oh, yeah, that is pretty bad. Yeah. And, you know, the thing is, too, it's a community-based thing, right? So it's someone you know who did that, right? Also, Adele says tuna. Margaret says BLT. And, oh, also a Reuben sandwich. And Shirley adds a salmon salad sandwich. Wow, now I'm getting hungry. I'm getting really hungry. I tell you what we're going to do. We still are going to play, wow, time is going so quick. We got so many things to do. We're still going to play The Price is What? I had a brain fart there. And I want to show you the lightning. But let's get to your forecast, guys. Lots to talk about here. We'll start off by letting you know that the weather is brought to you by the Big Blue Marble Podcast. Listen along as I feature undeniable stories of our changing planet and the amazing people trying to save it. There are brand new episodes that are now available. You can get it on your favorite podcast player as well as www.bigbluemarble.earth or on my website at www.anwarknight.com. Let's play a game here. And this is really easy. So for those who are new to us, how we play this game is that I have listed some actual items that are on a website that they sell. I won't say the website, but it rhymes with Luigi, so it rhymes with that. So these are actual items that are for sale. I'm going to give you the item, and you tell me how much do you think they're asking for it without going over, all right? So we're going to start off with the Price is What? And then we're going to get into the Nod to Nature. But the first item, look at this. It is officially, yeah, we got the music going. It is officially, item number one is an assortment of horse teeth. I don't know where this guy got it. His name, the seller was not Hannibal Lecter, I promise you. But I don't know where he's getting it. And these are big. I never really appreciated the size of a horse's tooth, but these look pretty darn big. So this is a collection of horse teeth. The seller says, this is what he put in the ad, perfect for a school show and tell or a gift for a zoologist or paleontologist in your life. I don't know. So how much? How much do you think this guy's asking for the horse teeth? On The Price is What? How much do you think? And you know, I really don't know how old these teeth are. Miranda says number one, no thanks. But Donna says $20 for the horse teeth. And Laura says, who would want this? You know, when he said about the show and tell, I could see maybe one for a kid in grade 4. Maybe they don't even do show and tell there. But I think you're right. It almost border of creepy. Giselle says $10. Cheryl said $50. And Rico says gross. And he put $4. Kathy says 60. Zaner 75, as well as Cindy. Christopher says he's willing for $10. And Marcus says, what the heck? Do what with $1, laughing out loud, but probably 100. Adele says 150. Cindy says 30. Wendy says 15. Joyce says 299. Look at you. Bang. Nancy says, seriously? You need to pay me, but 15 bucks is her bid on that. $1 for Kathy. Sharon says $79.99. We're talking about the collection of horse teeth on The Price is What. Shirley says $1 just to get rid of them. Well, there you go. You see, now you're thinking. $5 from Lois. The actual retail price on this for The Price is What? $18 for the collection of horse teeth. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd even pay that either. Maybe a couple of bucks at a garage sale. But to be honest, I think I'd be kind of freaked out going to his house picking it up. Be one of those things, oh, yes, come in, please. It's over in the basement. Come with me. You know, and then all of a sudden, you're like, I don't know. Anyway, that is item number 1. Item number 2, oh, this is what we need in our life as we play The Price is What? On Here and There, episode 44. It's the Howdy Doody Lampshade. It's Howdy Doody time. Honestly, I don't know where some of the people get these crap items, but maybe somebody is thinking I gotta have that. So how much do you think they're asking for this? Be sure to put item number 2, just number 2 next to your bid, so I know which one you're talking about. And this is what the seller says from the 1950s. He claims it's in near mint condition, has no chips or cracks, and it's 12-inch square. And it displays the images of not just Howdy Doody, but Mr. Bluster, Flubadub, and Clarabelle the Clown. Ron says, yeah. Kathy says $1. Sharon says $79.99. Shirley says, oh, that was for the other one. Okay, again, so number 2, we got 50 from Barbara. Also, Judy says item 2, saying that I'm old. Laughing out loud, $39.99. Cindy says $125 for the Howdy Doody lamp. Donna says 40. Mo says 200. Maybe you know something we don't know, or maybe you really just love Howdy Doody. Kathy says 20. Morag says 25. Rico says $50. Adele says $19.99 for the Howdy Doody lampshade. Wendy adds in $100. Okay, Helen Crest, you say $1,000. You might be a collector. I don't know. $1,000. Nancy brings it down to 50. 150 says Cindy. $20 says Margaret. Zayner says 66. And Cindy says $5 and adds, and no thank you. Aisha says that lampshade would be creepy to look at. Yeah, imagine you're going to bed and there's Howdy Doody looking at you. But she puts $30 on the board. Joyce says 49. Kathy says 35, as well as Inez. Bev says $80 for the Howdy Doody lampshade. And okay, Christopher says, wow, ... 250. This is getting interesting. I think I got to get myself some Howdy Doody lampshades. Kathy says 200. Sarah says 60. Sarah J prefers I say Sarah J. So Sarah J, $60. $30 from Lonnie. Helen says, didn't say I would buy it. Fair enough. Actual price for the Howdy Doody lampshade is $100. $100 for the Howdy Doody lampshade. Yeah, good luck on that. I don't think he's going to get $100. Maybe 20, maybe. But there you have it. Okay, ready for number 3? And if you're enjoying the program, please support it with all your parade of hearts. Make sure you share it and you follow the page. Let's continue. This is item number 3. The antique copper handheld clothes washing plunger. Now, I have to confess, when I first saw this item number 3, I thought it was a toilet plunger, and I had to Google it. But as it turns out, this was the first real machine for the house. This was the first washing machine. So the idea is you'd put a stick or a handle on it, and then you'd have, a tub or a barrel. You put your clothes in it, and then you put a top with a hole, and then you put this plunger with the water, and you're agitating the clothes. So that's what this is. And according to the seller, it measures 8 inches in diameter. It's 5 inches high, and says that it is in mint condition. So how much for item number 3? Make sure you put item number 3 on that. $150 is already on the board, and that's from Rico. $150 for the plunger. We've got 0 for Donna. She says, you know what? I got my own washing machine, thank you. Cindy says, considering the price of copper, that's very funny, $60. Kathy says 80. Peter Zim says 75. And yeah, Margaret says, people seriously sell this stuff? I know. but it makes a great game show on our show, doesn't it? I know, I'm with you. And I should tell you, all of the items today were from Ontario. All right, Sarah J says 200, 150 says Lois. Adele says 75 for That Strange Thing. 45 says Diane. 375 Nancy says. Kathy's 25. And Zaner says $20.22. $20.22 for the copper handheld clothing washer. And oh, Christopher says nothing. I prefer my Maytag. Also, Cheryl says copper is expensive, so $2.50. Tammy says $95. So the actual price for the copper handheld clothes washing plunger is $20. And you know, I think you're right. He even said, the seller, and I didn't put this in here, but he says it's probably worth more in the copper alone. I don't know what the going rate for copper is, but it is expensive. But there you have it, $20. So maybe some of you will now look up that person and say, yeah, I'll give you $20 for it. And that's this round of The Price Is What? All right, just before we wrap up, guys, I want to get into the nod to nature. And this really floored me. You know, lightning is one of nature's most common occurring element on the planet. You know, every second, scientists figure there's about 44 strikes that occur. Every second, 44 strikes. And this particular lightning strike is now officially in the record book. So let me show you what it looked like on the NOAA satellite radar picture, because you have to imagine it's a cluster of storms that are pushing down south. And when I talk about how long it is, I mean, we're not saying, you know, from here down to, you know, 2 blocks down in your neighborhood. This is a cluster of storms. And again, the imagery from NOAA, and it's pushing south. And then the next frame you're going to see here, all of that white forked lines is the official bolt, all right? It's stretched or kissed across 3 different states, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. It was 768 kilometers long. Can you imagine? That is a single bolt, making it the world's longest lightning flash on record. It beat the previous one of 708 kilometers in southern Brazil. That was in 2018. And I have to tell you that this occurred in April of 2020, but it was just officially confirmed this week. So they go through all the, you know, the satellite images when they got time. They you know, confer with each other and they do measurements and that. But is that not something? 768 kilometers long, this lightning bolt. Wow. And lightning strikes travel about 434,000 kilometers an hour. I mean, think about that. So if you were, you know, heading up to the moon, it would take you less than an hour. That's how fast lightning travels. But I think it's a worthy entry into the Nod to Nature folder, because nature is truly remarkable, right? And that's why we wanted to feature it. I was just totally floored by it. You know, over 750 kilometers long, a single lightning bolt. And lightning kills people every year, in Canada included, right? So when you hear the roar, you head indoors. Anyway, we are running late. On that note, my friends, I want to thank all of you for joining us here today. As we wrap up, I ask you to please support my work. As I mentioned, you know, send me the hearts, share this show with some friends, and follow the page. You know, as I tweeted, and you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram too, by the way, at Anwar Knight. There are many people that are isolated. Sometimes they're feeling alone or just really down because of what's going on. Let them know about the show. We can have some real fun, in a unique way. And it doesn't, you know, really take much. You don't need a subscription to satellite. You do need the internet, of course, or you can do it on a phone. But maybe we can put some smiles on other people's faces, people in your own circle, as we continue to grow. I appreciate all your support. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe my page. You know, if you appreciate the time I put into this, that would really mean a lot to me as we continue to grow it. So Adele says, so great to join you always. Karen says, you are so smart and interesting. Just keep it up. I love your show. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Susan says, fun show. Have a great weekend. Yes, indeed. And I really appreciate everybody's time today. And I hope to see you again next weekend. On that note, my friends, I'm going to wish you a very safe and happy weekend. I'm going to say a big shout out to Jason. Thank you for technical direction, putting all this stuff up in our show. And I look forward to having your company, guys, next Friday, all right? Take care. Keep smiling. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.